Welcome to FrankY in New York, the channel where history comes alive through forgotten stories and hidden truths. When most people think of New York in the 1800s, they imagine towering buildings, wealthy businessmen, and the Statue of Liberty welcoming immigrants. But beneath that famous image lies a darker, stranger, and far more fascinating history. From violent street gangs and deadly epidemics to immigrant struggles and shocking corruption, the New York of the 19th century was a city fighting for survival. Let's travel back in time. At the beginning of the 1800s, New York was surprisingly small. The city's population was just around 60,000 people. Most of Manhattan was still farmland, and many roads were muddy dirt paths. But everything changed rapidly. Thousands of immigrants arrived from Europe seeking better lives. The population exploded, creating overcrowded neighborhoods, packed families living in tiny apartments. Entire buildings were divided into cramped rooms known as the tenements. Many families shared a single room with little ventilation, no running water, and poor sanitation. The city was growing faster than anyone could manage. As wealth increased for some, poverty spread for many others. The contrast between luxury and hardship became one of New York's defining characteristics. One place symbolized New York's struggles more than any other: Five Points. Located in lower Manhattan, Five Points became one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. The streets were crowded, filthy, and filled with crime. Poverty forced families into terrible living conditions, while gangs fought for control of entire blocks. Visitors described the area as chaotic and frightening. Even famous figures visited to witness its condition firsthand. Despite its reputation, Five Points was also a place of resilience. Immigrants from Ireland, Italy, and other nations built communities, started businesses, and helped shape New York's cultural identity. Out of hardships emerged traditions, music, and communities that would influence the city for generations. The 1800s saw the rise of powerful street gangs. Groups like the Dead Rabbits and Bowery Boys battled for territory throughout the city. These gangs weren't just criminals, many acted like political organizations, offering protection and support to residents in exchange for loyalty. Street fights often involved hundreds of people. Riots erupted frequently, turning entire neighborhoods into battlegrounds. Police forces were still developing and struggled to maintain order. For many New Yorkers, gang influence became a part of daily life. The violence shocked visitors, but also reflected the intense competition for jobs, housing, and power in a rapidly growing city. Life in 19th century New York could be incredibly dangerous. The city faced repeated outbreaks of diseases such as cholera, yellow fever, and smallpox. Thousands lost their lives during epidemics. Medical knowledge was limited, and crowded living conditions allowed diseases to spread quickly. Fire was another constant threat. Most buildings were made of wood and stood close together. A single spark could destroy entire blocks. One of the most devastating events was the Great Fire of 1835, which destroyed hundreds of buildings and caused enormous economic losses. Despite these disasters, New Yorkers rebuilt again and again. Their determination helped transform the city into a stronger and more modern metropolis. Behind the scenes, politics in New York often operated through corruption. A powerful political organization known as Tammany Hall gained enormous influence during the 1800s. Its leaders controlled jobs, contracts, and elections. The most infamous figure was William Boss Tweed. Under his leadership, millions of dollars were stolen from taxpayers through fraud and corruption schemes. Yet, many immigrants supported Tammany Hall because it provided assistance when few others would. This complicated relationship made the organization both powerful and controversial. The battle against corruption eventually led to major reforms, changing how city government operated. When politicians and businessmen often dominated headlines, immigrants were the true builders of New York. Millions arrived through the city's ports during the 1800s. They worked in factories, constructed roads, built bridges, and expanded neighborhoods. The Irish fled famine, Germans escaped political unrest. Many others came searching for opportunity. Life was rarely easy. Discrimination and poverty were common challenges. Yet, these communities transformed New York into one of the world's most diverse cities. Their traditions, foods, languages, and cultures became woven into the city's identity. The New York we now know today would not exist without them. By the end of the 1800s, New York had changed dramatically. Skyscrapers began rising, new transportation systems connected neighborhoods, economic growth accelerated. The city became a global center of trade, finance, and culture. But beneath that success remained the stories of struggle, survival, and determination. The crowded streets, immigrant communities, political battles, and social challenges of the 1800s laid the foundation for modern New York. The city's greatness was not built overnight, it was forged through hardship, ambition, and resilience. The untold history of New York reminds us that every great city has hidden stories beneath its surface. Behind the famous skyline lies a past filled with courage, conflict, and transformation. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating stories. This is FrankY in New York, bringing history back to life, one story at a time.